Let me bring up the chat here, and then we'll get rocking and rolling. Oh gosh. There we go. All right. Today we are talking about pricing your Airbnb, something I am super passionate about, and I think I'm fairly good at it. One, pricing. Two, how to get more 5-star reviews. Everybody loves 5-star reviews, and I'm going to show you 2 easy ways to increase your likelihood of 5-star reviews. And 3 is your cleaning fee too high? Is your cleaning fee too high? Kind of a sneak peek. That's my favorite one today. Cleaning price and cleaning cost is 2 totally different things. So let's jump into it. All right. I'm going to share my screen here in one sec. So pricing your Airbnb. This is something that I was talking to a guy yesterday about. I did a story. If you follow me on Instagram, yesterday I did a story about what you should be priced at. How do you know you're too high, too low? There's some metrics, some insights that I'll show you actually what we do, and I'll kind of give you some metrics on if you're struggling in this category, then do this. If you're struggling in this category, then do this. All right. So in insights, let me share my screen real quick. Where are we? All right, share screen. And, yeah. All right. Hopefully everybody can see this. Let me make this a little bit bigger. Hopefully everybody can see that. I think you should be good. All right. So if you go into menu, insights here, and then go down to booking conversion, all this might look like Spanish, data, numbers, doesn't really matter. I'm going to break it down for you here and kind of dumb down these numbers with what they actually mean and how to actually use them. Banjo, welcome. Hola. All right. So the 3 biggest ones here: first page search, which is the second one on the screen, and average search to listing, and then listing to booking. So this is all of our listings, some 30, some 40, some for the past month. So, take that into account. There's going to be spikes and highs and lows, but there's some kind of metrics that we've set, and most people usually fall into these metrics. So this first one, I don't really look at this overall conversion rate. It takes into account literally everything. That's kind of what I call a lagging indicator. These are like leading indicators that you can change, which will help the overall conversion rate. So the first one, I think being the most important one, this is where a lot of hosts fall off the map, is this first page search impression rate. Sounds fancy. It's not fancy at all. All it means is, did you show up in the first page when guests look for your area and their guest count, pets or no pets? That's it. Did you show up on the first page? Obviously, you want to show up on the first page, because the more you show up on the first page, the more clicks you get, the more chances you have to securing that booking, obviously, right? But I've seen, if you follow my stories on Instagram, I put up a story the other day that was probably last week, something like this number. When I jumped into a listing for a new client of ours, we were doing a complete audit and really fixing his listing. This was at like 30%. So my goal is to be right around like 50% on this first one. So 50% of the people who search, you're showing up on the first page 50% of the time, so half the time. That's a really good indicator. That means you're doing a lot of things right. Now, that doesn't fix all the problems and making sure you're making money and getting booked, but there's some other things to kind of break down here. So first one is making sure you show up correctly. I've put together kind of dummy proofing this, in the Side Hustle host, there's a free course in there. Go through that Launchpad right here. It is awesome. I did a full training here you can access for free, but there is a template giveaway here that I show you guys everything you need to know here with kind of those metrics, right? And then we'll kind of go into a little bit more of what they actually mean. So let me jump back over here, make sure I'm on the right screen. All right, cool, we're back. So 57% right here. So we're good there. Nothing really to change there. We're doing something right. Now the next step is when you show up on that first page, are people clicking into your listing, right? That's step 2. Just to keep it super simple. You want to show up and you want to get people to click. Obviously, you want them to convert into bookings once they get to your listing. But the first 2 issues are almost all hosts that are not getting bookings. These are the 2 things to focus on. So the big 2. So first page. Let me bring up my notes. Typically, if this 50-some% is below 50%, typically it's one of 3 things: your poor rating, high prices, or your title. Usually those are the 3 things that affect this metric right here. So if you just have terrible reviews, Airbnb is not going to show you to their guests. Why would they, right? Obviously that's a given. If you're overpriced, I think that's a really, really common one. The one that I did a story on earlier, they were just way overpriced. They were charging like $175 a night when the market was charging $110 a night. So that's of course why Airbnb, it doesn't show you to a lot of guests. Now you still will get views because there's limited inventory on Airbnb, especially once you kind of get to those like 4, 5, 6 bedroom houses, and definitely in the luxury market, there's not enough listings. So one of the 3 things: poor ratings, high prices, and then the title. I think title is probably 3rd on this list. That's why I've listed it 3rd. But the title being something to catch people's eye. Title now is less important after their, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago or a year ago, they made a change to kind of hide the titles, make them less important. I just like to keyword stuff all my titles: king bed, pool, hot tub, game room, king suite, like fun, close to the city, things like that in the title. So that's kind of the first page. If anybody has any questions, drop them down below. I will be answering. I'll be answering them. Okay, awesome. I speak Spanish. I do not. I know hola and un cerveza. All right. So the second one, this one right here, 8.5% average search to listing conversion. Once again, that's a fancy term. It doesn't really, the easiest way to think about that is when you jump into that search, like let's say you hit that first page or second page or wherever you're at, are people clicking into your listing, right? That's the second part of this. So showing up and then people clicking into your listing. The biggest things that you want to look at here. So a metric that I like is anywhere from like 7-8% all the way up to like some of our super high performing properties that have a sick photo and high conversion rates are at like 12, 13, 14%. I actually made a mistake yesterday. There was a story that I did. I wanted to be at 20%. It was actually 10%. So that was my fault. If you saw that, I screwed up. But this one, so this is all of our listings. We're 8.5%, 9%. So of, let's say, 100 views, 100 guests look at our listing and we show up, we're almost at 60% on that first page, which is great. But once we kind of get to here, this is where I like to see that number a little bit higher. I'll show you why I'm not too worried about this one, because once we get into this one, I'll kind of explain that. But the search to listing is typically one of 4 things. So the guest sees you in the listing page, but how many people actually click that listing? So the main one is your hero photo. That is the most important photo that you have. Hero photo, the first one. It's got to be like a drone shot, just as sick. I love the twilight, overlooking the pool and the hot tub, like those kind of eye-catching photos. Those are the ones that really get people to click on your listing. It's not too late for coffee, right? All right. So I like to be at anywhere from like 8, 7, 8, 9 to upwards of 15%. Some of the higher end listings. But let's see, hero photo going to be the big one there that drives that number up and up and up. Once again, this changes actually. This is a good metric right here. So this is one property. This is a Rank Breeze Chrome plugin. These top 4 numbers are all of our listings and for an entire month. But you can actually see this one right here. So this is one listing. This is one of our higher performing listings. But month over month, I mean, November, this was at 10%, December, 6.7%, January, really high, 9%, February, which is a very historic slow month. We were getting clicked a ton here, and we were obviously converting a ton. So 3 of every 100 people converting into a booking, which is great. This metric is usually anywhere from 1 to 2%. 2%, you're crushing it and you're doing everything well. But this specific listing, I mean, March, we're doing very well. So you can't look at each one in a microscope, taking into account all the metrics. And whenever we jump into a new listing and we're trying to figure out what to work on and why it's not hitting our metrics or whatever, this is usually the first step of what we're looking at. So the search to listing, so hero photo, reviews as well. Obviously, if you know what I said earlier, low reviews typically means low booking. The price per night and total. So this is a big driver here, because once you get on that list page, you can toggle. I think you can toggle on the total price. So if you are, let's say you're at $300 a night and all the competition is at 100, typically, unless somebody's looking for like a higher end luxury spot, typically they're going to click on the $100 a night listing versus the $300 a night. Now, caveat is if somebody's looking for that high end stay and you have all these amenities, obviously you can charge there. So price per night, and then obviously the headline as well. So the title. And then the last one, this listing to booking conversion is 1 to 2% here. The biggest 3 things there that I've seen make that number go up and down is price, photos, listing description, and house rules. So typically it's when people get on your listing, what are they seeing? That's you've shown up in first page. You've got somebody to click on the listing. Now, how many of those are actually converting into bookings? So everything on your listing is into account there. If you have a ton of house rules, guests might not like that. So they might go over to another listing. Price, photos, typically past photo 1, that's 2 through 50 or however many you have. That's where those kind of come into play. Cleaning price. This is a really good one, which is actually my point number 3 is your cleaning fee price too high? Like if you're getting, say, if you're priced at $120 a night for your cleaning fee and everybody else is at $80, chances are somebody's going to book that $80 just to save on that fee versus the $120. And then cancellation policy. That's another big one that really drives conversion. If you have a super flexible cancellation policy, typically you'll get more bookings. But also, if people are booking just on the fact that you have a loose cancellation policy, you're going to get more cancellations down the road, which could potentially screw up your calendar. So, all right. Hopefully that wasn't too much info. Let me jump back over here and make sure there is no other questions. Okay, listing and booking. All right. If you have any questions on this right here, drop a comment below. I'm more than happy to kind of go into depth a little bit more on those. But question number 2 is how to get more 5-star reviews. So this is obviously a very common one, but it really matters. I think there's 2 easy things that any host can do right now, and to drive more 5-star reviews. I think the easiest one is just asking for the review. Like, hey, would you guys give us a 5-star review? It helps our business out tremendously. Like, would you guys be a gym and give us a 5-star review? I just gave you a 5-star review. Would love for you to return the favor for me. Typically that just immediately just asking for the sale, really. That'll immediately get you more reviews. And we automate a lot of this. It's not like you have to, manually call every guest and do all that. Like, we're after checkout, 2-3 o'clock, we're manually saying, hey, how was your stay? Just gave you a 5-star review. Would you mind giving me in return? Another very popular one is we offer, so not us, our cleaners offer a cleanliness guarantee. So what that means is, sounds fancy, guests love it, to be honest with you, but it's essentially like, hey, if you find something at the property, let's say we missed a hair at the bottom corner of this bedroom, like, we're human. We have a cleanliness guarantee. The first 24 hours, if you notice anything, we'll send our cleaners back out free of charge. It's no hassle to you. We'll schedule within your timeline. And when things get missed, because at enough properties, you are going to miss things. And it just gives the guests that really peace of mind of your care, you're taking care of them, and really helps drive up 5-star reviews. We have specifically got 5-star reviews specifically mentioning cleanliness guarantee. So that is a very easy one. Obviously, make sure your cleaners can offer this. If you have like a small cleaner, maybe they won't jump out to the property. But if you have a bigger group, then they probably have cleaners and inspectors and things like that. So every now and then we'll have to send our internal inspectors or area manager to go check out a problem. But cleanliness guarantee, and then actually asking for the review. Jonathan, appreciate you jumping on, man. Thank you for the fire flames. If you have any questions, let me know. We'll jump over to number 3. Once again, if you guys are you're not in our community, we've got like 40 members in here already. And I've done very little promoting, but we do weekly trainings, obviously free, 100%. I created this Launchpad free course. Here you go. It's my way of giving back. Jump in there. There's talk all about underwriting, getting leads, growing your PM company, how to get to 5 listings. There's some advanced stuff in there. Like, it's completely worth the free admission. But without further ado, let's jump over to number 3. I was actually talking to our cleaner today about a property that they manage, and something that they've struggled with the owner is a cleaning fee too high? What I mean by that, it sounds stupid. It's like, oh, it's the cleaning fee. There is a difference between the cleaning price and the cleaning cost. Those can be 2 totally separate things. And to the uneducated business owner and host, like, the price is what the guest sees. Let's say $100 cleaning price is $100 on the listing. They see it, very visible. Our cleaning cost is what we pay the cleaners to clean the property and get it guest ready, right? Could be totally 2 different things. We've actually seen more and more to where it's like, okay, maybe the cleaning cost is $80, but we charge $100, or even the opposite. Whereas a scenario in, let's say you've got a 2-bedroom and there's a lot of amenities, a lot of room, the house is old, it takes more to really clean. The cleaner might charge you more for that clean. Let's say it's $120 cost to clean the property. And let's say you set up, your listing and Price Labs, and you're looking at other properties, and let's say everybody else is charging $80. Even if you charge 100, or if the cleaners charge you $120, you don't have to charge $120. Like, for us during slow season, for us to just stay 80%, 85% occupied, we have cut the cleaning price even when the cleaning cost did not move. So if, like, let's say we've got a 2-2, it's $120. Let's say during slow season, we want to get really aggressive. Let's say we drop it to $100 or even $80 to get more bookings and stay booked and make our clients more money, right? Even if we're losing, let's say $40 on that clean, but we get a $500 reservation that we normally wouldn't have, I think everybody here would say that's still a win. So there's so many levers to pull, but lowering the cleaning fee to be a little bit more in line. Obviously, I don't like lowering the cleaning fee and losing on every booking, but every now and then when the time comes, like that is one lever that you can pull to generate more revenue and potentially offset that cost. A smart man told me one time, would you rather have 90% of something or 100% of nothing? I would rather have 90% of something, even if I'm losing that $40 in that example, versus 100% of no booking and staying vacant. So cleaning fee being too high is one lever. I didn't have anything prepped for here, but cancellation policy is another lever to pull that we've done with our clients to get them more bookings. I actually recently I made a post on this in one of our, in our school community, in our free program, that there was a property that we took over doing their revenue management and listing optimization. They hadn't had a booking for 6 months. We jumped in there, made some changes, made some tweaks, set up their pricing. I think we're going to finish March at probably 60% occupancy. This property has not been booked in 6 months. 6 months, for those that didn't hear it in the back, which is ridiculous. But we were able to, lower their cleaning fee. We found out their cleaning fee was way overpriced. And it turns out they were making a profit on the cleaning fee, but they just didn't know that was what was causing people to go book somewhere else. So this is in a specific beach market, vacation market during off season. So we were, during off season, March, we're probably going to end up at like 60%. So the cleaning fee was one. The other big one was, there was an extra guest fee. They were charging like $25 for 4+ guests. So you're essentially, I actually like the extra guest fee in certain instances, but this one specifically, it was like no percentage of the bookings were happening on listings that had extra guest fees. So for us, it was like, this is a no-brainer. Let's remove this immediately. And boom, we got 4 bookings literally in like 3 days. So it's not rocket science. I think a lot of people kind of overcomplicate this. It's figuring out what other successful people are doing and then just mimicking. Don't copy it, just innovate. Another smart man told me this called it something like the McDonald's effect or Burger King effect. Is like McDonald's, spends millions and millions of dollars every year to figure out where to put the next franchise. Burger King's like, I don't need to do that. I'll just see what McDonald's is doing. They've put millions into this research, and then we'll just buy the lot across the street. How many times have you seen a Burger King and a McDonald's, or a Burger King and a Wendy's or a McDonald's right beside each other? It's for that reason. Same thing with Chick-fil-A, Starbucks, Whole Foods. Those are the big ones. Just seeing what McDonald's is doing and doing it a little bit differently. Every property is so unique. So hopefully that has helped you guys. If you have any questions, I will give 10 more seconds and then we will jump off. I appreciate everybody jumping on for this week's episode of STR Q&A. We do this every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern. I've also got what I call an office hours, where I'll typically just underwrite a property, go through a little bit of behind the scenes of like what I'm doing. This week I might do some pricing. I'm feeling a little pricing training coming on. But Friday, 1:00 every week. Cool. Thank you guys. Love y'all. Peace.